Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
The storm doesn't ask. It takes. It tests. It pushes everything to its limit. Some things are built different. Some things are built to last. Tested by the elements, proven by time, engineered for whatever comes next. Summertown Metals. Strength in every storm. Building dreams that last.
Working with Gina was great because she really knows this area. I gave her the specifications of what I was looking for, and she took me right to my forever home.
I met Gina when she sold my son's home within 5 days after it hit the market. With my home, from the day the sign hit the yard to the day we signed the papers, Gina was there every step of the way. Her involvement in the sale of my home was the best decision that I made.
We never felt like Gina was pushing us to make a deal with a buyer. She knew what we wanted, and she worked diligently to get us the best offer for our properties.
Working hard for my clients to make their dreams come true. Let me work for you.
Pat's Cafe and Catering has been proudly serving customers in Lawrenceburg since 1987. For 4 generations, our family-run cafe has served up delicious breakfast and lunch favorites with friendly service and a welcoming atmosphere. We also offer full-service catering and can help to make your next party or event a success. For great food and friendly faces, visit us today at Pat's Cafe and Catering.
State Line Garage Doors, owned and operated by Justin Gobble, is your trusted local expert in garage door services. Based in Lawrence County, Tennessee, State Line Garage Doors is built on over a decade of hands-on experience, providing reliable repairs, replacements, and installations for all types of garage doors, residential and commercial. They proudly serve our community and the surrounding areas. When you work with State Line Garage Doors, you're not just another job, you're part of our community. Their commitment to quality, transparency, and craftsmanship is at the heart of what they do, and they offer free estimates. State Line Garage Doors. Reach out to discover the difference a company with local roots can make for your home and business.
At C&B Linen, fast, friendly, and reliable service is our promise to you. Because you're not just a customer, you're family. From multi-use linen to branded floor coverings and a complete range of cleaning supplies, C&B Linen is here to make sure you have everything you need. From our high-quality products to our fast, friendly, and reliable service, you'll experience the difference with C&B Linen. Because you're not just a client, you're part of our family. You'll be winning with C&B Linen.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
And welcome everybody here to X Sports Live, brought to you by C&B Linen. AJ Good with Brian Gobble and Michael Marks. And guys, weather is starting to heat up. The play's starting to heat up, and the only reason they're wearing long sleeves is because it's pretty cold.
It's a little chilly in here.
Yeah, I wish I would have made the same decision they made, but you're about to hop on a flight.
Yep,
so,
I'm going to where it is cold, Chicago. So
is it cold right now?
Well, it's probably a little cooler than it is here, but I don't think it's going to be like freezing cold.
Okay.
Right now where I'm going
56.
feels like 53. So
I can handle 50.
I would say I can handle the mid-50s. That's just hoodie and sweat air shorts for me. So
40s and 50s over the next few days in Chicago.
Well, I packed sweatpants, so we're good.
There you go. There you go. No Cubs games.
Unfortunately, I would say they're on the road. Yeah.
Well, they went 3-3 to start the year at Wrigley Field. So take 2 out of 3 from the Angels. You feel pretty good about yourself. But guys, we had a couple busy days when it comes to high school baseball. Mike, the other night tables were reversed. Night 1, Monday, all Loretto winning that game 11-0 at 6. Night 2, long ball time for the Eagles.
Definitely just felt like a home run fest, and it all kind of happened later in the game, most of the home runs, but you did have the Case and Blackwood inside the park home run in the first that really got the things going. In Summertown, they switched up the lineup a little bit, moved Case and Blackwood from the leadoff spot to the 3-hole, moved Aiden Perez and Ryder Blackwood up, and listen, the top 4 in the order did damage. Went a combined 14 of 20. They're 5 times through the order. Each one of them hit a home run. 3 of them left the park, one of them stayed inside, and man, they were just getting on base and getting guys around. And man, Summertown, you can see how they had that 18-run game against Eagleville, because the offense definitely showed it on Tuesday night.
I mean, you got guys like Ryder Blackwood at his first career home run. Is that Jackson Bennett's first career home run? I mean, they weren't cheapies. These they didn't hit the top of the fence and barely got over. Wind carried. These were legit home runs. And after kind of offensively slumping a little bit and watching their pitching and defense get beat up, I'm sure it felt good for them to barrel up some balls and send them over the fence.
Yeah, the offense really struggled for Summertown on Monday night, so it feels good for the Eagles to be able to get that offense back and rolling again on Tuesday night against the rival, against the district opponent, and it's got to fuel them as they head into district play for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and they both split, so we really don't know what community has. What Forest is, what their tops and
they're 3-1 right now. So I would say they're going to be a pretty tough opponent. Cascade, we've seen what they are. Community's going to be tough. It's kind of like the basketball side, where the district is going to be incredibly tough on both the softball and baseball sides.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a lot of fun to see how this all plays out throughout the course of the year. But good signs for both. It's a good sign you saw in Game 1, Loretto's offense break out, get some good pitching. Then Game 2, it's good to see Summertown get some pitching, get some defense, and kind of start to turn some things around there.
Yes.
But, and also they did it against, Mason's back. I'm sure that's probably a start he would love to have back. I'm sure he wants another opportunity against those guys once again. But that wasn't a slouch of a pitcher they did that against.
No, I would say Mason only able to go 2 2/3 into that one. Still kind of on a bit of a pitch count, but I thought he really battled back well. Had the 3-run first, the 3-run second. Really battled back well in the third, and kind of settled things down before they brought John Tucker in for the next 3 innings.
Guys, now we got Lawrence County. Swept Tullahoma. So right as of right now, the way in Tullahoma they played Giles County the week before, kind of took care of business in both of those really well. But night 1 they went 13-2, and the next night when I saw Clint Wright at Udder Rolls after the game, he told me, well, I think we stole one from him, and I'm like, hey man. That just proves you can win any game that
baseball.
You can. You can go 13-2 and run roll them, and then you can win 2-1 the next.
Always winning that second game is incredibly hard, especially after a run roll, because you're going to have a team on one side that's coming in extremely confident and another team that's coming in extremely eager and ready to go. And you can see that Tullahoma got on the board first, 1-0, but man, that Lawrence County pitching staff really shut things down. I mean, only giving up the 1 run against that Tullahoma team is incredibly impressive.
Yeah, Braden Green going the distance for them guys. A freshman, he played as an 8th grader, pitched as an 8th grader last year at the Webb School. But you think about their top 2 starters. You got Logan Mays, a junior, throwing in the 90s. You got Braden Green, who's touched 90 a couple times, and they're both left-handed. How many teams do you know your Monday, Tuesday guys in district play are left-handers that can throw in the 90s?
Yeah, that is extremely rare. And again, you mentioned that a lefty that can touch the 90s. That's not something that you're going to see in high school a lot, and especially knowing that you got that coming back the next day pretty much, it's tough and beneficial for Lawrence County to have both of those guys.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good for me to see the player development. Like I don't know if I've ever seen like this consistent player development where you just see players getting better and their strengths are being utilized. So just hats off to Coach for really getting the most out of his guys and really propelling them to be successful at this level and then at the next level as well.
Yeah, and I remember I've made a lot of friends over at Tullahoma. Like I said, I love the people there are great. I just wish it wasn't an hour and a half away.
Yeah.
Because their facilities are great, their people are great, their AD is awesome. These are all great people to work with. But one of the guys, when the way it works, I have to go plug in my power cord up in the press box, which is on top of the roof there, and just makes things easier because the first time I went there and I tried to plug things underneath and it was It was a nightmare. So I do up there, and I'm going up to go unplug myself and wrap everything up. And the guy comes down, he looks at me and goes, "Enjoy the next 3 years. These guys are going to be really good."
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I believe it.
I believe it, man, because you look at Brayson Rose as a sophomore, Jake Moore is a sophomore, Jack Emerson a junior, Logan Mays a junior. I mean, they've only got 2 seniors.
Yeah. And it was something we kind of talked about with some other sports like volleyball and girls basketball, the amount, and boys basketball, the amount of youth. They're able to, and for them to be able to be 12-4 at this point in the year, 2-0 in district play, and to take 2 away from a good Tullahoma team. I mean, Clint Wright's got to be feeling great about his guys early in the season.
And also add on to it, hitting wise, one of my big things. Brian's heard me talk enough about it in basketball. Like, free throws can win you games.
Yep.
They can lose you games. But on the baseball side of it, 2-out hitting and hitting with runners in scoring position, offensively and defensively. This team, I swear, every game they give you 2 or 3 runs off 2 outs.
Yeah.
And they got both of their runs in this game that they beat Tullahoma with, both with 2 outs. Now, one of them was off a pop-up drop by first baseman, but that's not on you.
No.
That's on them to make the defensive play. So it's just good to see how they're coming up clutch.
Yes.
In those big situations. And they played Tullahoma does have some really good pitching. And they threw both of their best guys out there game 1. They hit them pretty hard. Game 2, it's good. The first time through the order, God mowed him down. Second time, starting to hit him. He's not striking out as much. Third time through the order, they're starting to barrel some things up. So it's good to watch them make those adjustments as the game goes on. Well, guys, moving on to high school softball, Summertown continues to roll. Got a really good win against Forest, 8-0 there the other night, and this team is – we talk about it all the time. It's almost redundant at this point. They're just the train on the tracks, and everyone's just trying not to get run over at this point.
Yeah, way to put it. And man, when are teams going to learn to stop pitching to Greenlee Taylor? I mean, she is just absolutely awesome, and I believe that's her 3-run homer right there.
Off the top of the wall.
Yeah, it was a line drive, yeah. But just a great win for Summertown. Forest was the one team that hadn't played anybody in district play yet, so you don't know what you're getting coming into, and and with an 8-0 loss to Summertown, you also really don't know what you're seeing from them coming up later. But man, Summertown continues to look dominant in district play. 12-3 on the season, 2-0 in district play it's exactly what we thought we would get from Summertown softball.
Yeah. Pitching's there, defense is there. They run the bases really well. Like, they are really aggressive. I love what Westwood's does. Like, they're always trying to find a way to get the extra base. It's what sets you apart. Not only are you talented and you're coached well, but you do the things, you steal bases, you steal runs, you do all the things that can take that extra step to give you over top a team.
Yeah, I love teams that run the bases in high school because it's so hard to defend it at the high school level. If you're good at running the bases, you're going to be a really dangerous team. And Summertown, that's just one of the many things that they do well this year.
Got Nolensville tonight, so they're playing at home. They're playing, they're 4.
I believe Nolensville is 4A.
4A. So, yeah, you're bringing in a big-time team from a big-time program into your ballpark tonight. Lawrence County Baseball's got Hardin County, then Summertown the next night. I think Summertown's off tonight?
Yes, off tonight, and then
Loretto's got Terre Haute.
Yes,
Terre Haute making the Lawrence
the rounds.
Making the rounds. I don't know if Brian was here when we talked about it last week, because some of our softball teams, they played in that tournament in Murfreesboro, a bunch of Indiana schools, but Terre Haute came here last year and played all the same teams. Well, they didn't play Loretto.
They didn't play Loretto.
Summertown and Lawrence County, and reminded me it's like the weirdest spring break trip ever. Because when I was in high school, teams from New York would come play my teams in West Virginia. I'm like, did someone tell you we have a bunch of future major leaguers out here? Of all the places to go for spring break, you all decided to come to West Virginia.
Yeah, but I actually think that coming to Lawrence County gives you an interesting dynamic because it's not a beach trip. You're not going to play at some big sportsplex, but you're getting 3 quality teams at different levels. Obviously, with Lawrence County being a 3A team, Summertown and Loretto at 2A, it's going to be some fun competition. This is, I believe, their second, third, and fourth games of the year. Only one game before they made the rounds down here.
Need a special cup for defeating off the LC Tour, the LC Slam, or something like that.
Yeah. Well, do you know Terre Haute's where Indiana State is? Could it be the Larry Bird
Cup?
Yeah, that's right.
I got a jersey we can throw on it.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about Larry Bird. Larry Bird said, "Man, why you put a white guy on me?"
The hick from French Lick.
Yeah, I'm trying to do my Charles Barkley impersonation there. But now back to high school softball. Lady Cats, guys. It wouldn't be a true district game for Lawrence County if they didn't go down early, then find a way to come back from.
Talking about a marathon, one that just 10 innings in softball.
Poor Taylor.
Yeah, I was about to say it was a
poor Tyler.
Poor Tyler. Yeah, a long game. And again, I was talking with a teacher from Lawrence County High School and said that the girls felt maybe a little too confident coming into that one, but they did a really good job to battle back late and pick up a district win over a very scrappy Giles County team.
Yeah, and you go down 3-0. They had that loss to Tullahoma. And it just seems like teams get them down, and then they always fight back. Mm-hmm. They always do. And then, an error is how you scored the game-winning run, but who cares? Yeah. It's on the other team to play defense. That's why you put the ball in play. That's why you do the things that you got to do. I don't have much what's the word? I'm not trying to be mean, but, I don't have a whole lot of empathy. It's like, well, they won on an error. Yeah, you
won.
You're supposed to field it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Not my problem.
And I'm really impressed with this Lawrence County team, like you mentioned, that down but never out. It doesn't matter if the score is 10-0, 3-0, or if they're on the other end up 10-0 or up 3-0. Those girls don't quit fighting until the last out of the game is secured. So props to them. 3-1 in district play now.
Yeah, absolutely. And they get Marshall County tonight at home. Marshall County is normally tough. I mean, they got some girls that can crush the softball. My bad. I'm getting ahead of myself. But they always got some girls that can hit the ball pretty hard. So that's going to be a good test for them and their pitching and their defense tonight. So we've got Lawrence County, we've got Marshall County, Loretto's at Forest.
Yes. I'm pulling up the schedule real quick.
Summertown's in Nolensville. No, Summertown hosts Nolensville. Lawrence County baseball hosts Hardin County, and
so we got Lawrence County,
Loretto
Hardin
baseball
County.
Hosts
Terre Haute. Yeah, I would say Lawrence County at Hardin County at Lawrence County, Loretto Terre Haute at Loretto in baseball, and then softball, Lawrence County versus Marshall County in Lawrenceburg, and then Loretto versus Forest at Forest, and then Summertown Nolensville at home against Nolensville.
Yeah. Well, guys, someone I want to shout out. We're going to get into some college stuff here because we got a new women's basketball coach at UNA, and we got an assistant basketball coach at UNA with a lot of history. He's a pretty good guy, but I want to shout out, as you see on the screen, this is Hallie Uberoff from Chattanooga State. So I've had Chat State in our TCCAA softball doubleheaders, games of the week, the last 2 weeks, at Walter State, and then at home against Motlow State yesterday. Guys, 6 home runs. She's hit 3 in each one. And she does not get cheated on any swing. Like, it's one of the best softball swings I've ever seen. It's so natural. It's so fluid. The ball jumps off of her bat. I think she had a total of 7 RBIs yesterday. And the other game, I think she only had 5 because most of those were solo shots, including the last one you saw just missed there against Walter State. That was an extra innings. A solo home run to give her team the lead that they eventually gave up on a walk-off 2-run shot in the bottom half of the inning. But this girl just touches the ball well. She was last week's league hitter of the week. The week before, when I had a Columbia State game, had a girl there from that who had 3 home runs in a game. And she became the hitter of the week. I wouldn't be surprised if she's the hitter of the week again. She's got 17 home runs this year to lead the league. We've seen 6 of them in person.
And that's just crazy. And I just mentioned it earlier, we're talking about Greenlee Taylor from Summertown. Why are you still pitching to her at this point? I mean, you're getting a doubleheader. Yeah, it'd be cool to hit 1 in each game, but to hit 3 combined in 2 straight doubleheaders, that is just incredible. And you can see why they're as dominant as they are this year.
Yeah, and all 3 of her home runs yesterday were all 2-run homers.
Wow.
That's pretty amazing.
All big things, slugging percentage. Yeah.
All things considered, I just want to give them a shout out and let everyone know, hey guys, JUCO. There's a lot of great talent at JUCO. I saw a lot on the volleyball and the soccer side. I've seen a ton on the softball and the baseball side, and definitely a lot on the basketball side. Like there is, and we also have both Walter State teams made it to the NJCCAA.
Yes,
Do I have that right?
I think so.
They both made it to the Final Fours there. Those Walter State teams are pretty good. And one of those girls, I think, is going to end up at UT Southern. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, Tullahoma girl, Nija Gibbs. Or at least I saw her visit. Hopefully I didn't just jump the gun right there. But, guys, let's get into the new things over there, Brian, at UNA. New women's basketball coach here for the Lions, and bringing in a girl who's, by the way, I want to shout out Ben Luna for that awesome April Fool's joke, and because he just peeked his head in the window. And I also want to shout him out because I know that was a fake quote from me, but by the way, that was insanely accurate. I would have actually said that. Like, that's going to be a disaster. But hey, if people are going to watch it, let's do it.
I'd say next year we'll get Ben on here with the Exports Live. We'll have you do the weather at noon, and it'll be a fun time.
I would love to do it. Like, all right, y'all. I'm going to go outside. Yeah, it's sunny. It's going to be sunny all day. I don't care what's up here. But that's coming. I don't know.
You'll get here later.
Going. Your guess is as good as mine at this point. These things are 2 miles in the air, people. You think I'm going to know how this thing goes down? And then I would just rant about how people rant about weather and weather forecasters.
We could do that for hours.
Yeah, on air. Well, I could do that for hours. But anyways, Coach Nims, the new head women's coach there, Bryant, and she's got a history of turning programs around. But this is a bit of a challenge. She took over Northwestern State in COVID, and she led them to a postseason appearance this past year, the first time since 1999, first winning record since 2016, and it was a slow build, but she got that program to respectability there. Before then, at UT Rio Grande, did the same thing. She's known for taking teams who are at the bottom and building them up to be respectable. She's taken over a UNA program that's already respectable, and now she's got to take it to the next level.
Yeah, you're right. I was looking at her records at Northwestern State. The first year that she was there, they were 1-19.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of a ouch. But the next year, 12-14, she added 10 more wins her second season. By the time 2024-2025 came around, she was 16-16, gotten the team back up to 500, and as you mentioned, had a winning record 18-14 this past year. So I think she's going to have great resources to work with. Like, UNA puts a lot of effort and resources into basketball. That's kind of what we have hung our hat on for a while now. We're still trying to build football up in North Alabama, but right now basketball is kind of the thing. And the girls basketball team, they're no slouch. They're not expected to go 1-19 next year, right? So she's already going to have a jump start. It'd be interesting to see what she does with it and how she uses it. If all things go right, she's not going to be here in 3 or 4 years, right? Because she's building, she takes us to the next level, and she's seen as valuable enough to where someone else hires her. But that's good for the school, even if that does happen, right?
And I know some people would think, okay, this is a linear move, like, or because horizontal's that, no, vertical's
vertical,
horizontal move, but really it's not, because UNA is a better program overall than Northwestern State, and that's been proven throughout the course of time. The league is better that they're about to go into than what she had, so it is a slight step up, or maybe just a small step up, but I've watched some of their games. I was I haven't been feeling great, so I was up just watching some of their games on ESPN Plus. Their team, they're exciting. They're fun. They move the ball around really well. They're super aggressive defensively, so I'm excited to see what she can do. Big thing for her, I think she already knows this, is how much player retention is she going to have? Can she keep them there? And I'm sure selfishly for us here in Lawrence County, we'd love to see Katie Criswell stay.
Yes.
Right down the road in Florence.
Yeah, and that's the hardest thing, especially nowadays, is, on top of trying to keep your coaching staff around, you got to keep the players around when you bring in that new coaching staff. But I think if the players, like Bryant talked about, her first year at Northwestern State, they were 1-19, but built them up to a team with a very, I think, 18-14 in their last year. So she's not going to have to build a program from nothing. She's already got something, and if she can take North Alabama to the next step, like you mentioned, Bryant, she may only be around for 3 or 4 years.
I think player retention is going to be key. Right? Yeah, that is important. But like I said, I really think she'll be able to do that. I think like I said, I think the athletic department is invested in doing whatever they can to keep the players. And I think UNA has nice facilities. Like if you go there, they have respectable places. Like Florence is a great town. It's a great university. So if she can come in and build the right relationships, I believe she'll be able to keep the key players that she needs to.
Yeah. And start to take, they're going into that new league with all the Texas schools and mainly the football members, which we'll get to it here in a little bit. Things are going to change in that conference because they just added a new member today in West Florida. But on the men's side of it, Drew Stutz, a Florence native who played at Mars Hill Bible, comes over from Freed Hardeman. He's a new men's assistant coach. Freed has won 2 of the last 3 NAIA national championships, so they are bringing in a guy who knows how to coach, he knows how to recruit, and he's only going to bolster that staff. I mean, this guy's a stud.
I would say Freed Hardeman has been an absolute unit. And I would say he came from the men's side. You can look both men's and women's side. It feels like they're an absolute train. So bringing a guy in.
His sister's coaching the women's.
Exactly. And that's why they've been so good. So getting him, and this is a good step up for Drew and making it to the D1 level. And I think he can prosper in Florence. He's been able to bring a ton of great talent to Freed Hardeman. If he can do the same thing to North Alabama, again, talking about player retention, if he can bring in some new guys or some new ladies, I guess, it could be extremely fun in Florence this upcoming year.
Yeah, he is. He's going to be a great addition. I think Tony Pujols is the right man. I really enjoy watching him coach, and this is just going to bolster Tony and the men's basketball program. It matters to Drew, because he's from the area. I think that's important. He played at UNA, right? His last year, he played at Northwest Shoals, and then at UNA, went to Marcel Bible, which is 3 miles down from UNA, however many. So it matters to him, and I think that's really important. Is getting people that are truly invested, not just seeing this as just a stepping stone. It might be. He might go on to bigger and better things, right? He might have head coach aspirations, but while he's here, it matters to him. He's not just going to neglect the school and just be selfish. I truly believe he has best intentions at heart for the UNA men's basketball program.
And I think at mid-majors, it is very evident when you have a coaching staff that cares and loves the area versus ones that take it as a stepping stone. He's definitely a guy that I think, like you mentioned, is going to care deeply about Florence, about the Shoals area, and that's huge.
What does that mean for recruiting, too? The fact that he knows the area, right? Yeah. Freed Hardeman's not that far away, so he can still, he already has a footprint in Middle and West Tennessee, right? He knows Tennessee. He can come down here to Alabama. He's familiar, I'm sure, with at least the upper half of the state, from Birmingham to Huntsville over to the Shoals, so that's going to help recruiting tremendously.
Yeah, and and bringing a guy with some youth, and and I'm sure Tony was wanting to shake some things up. They were the preseason ASUN favorites and fell hard. That's hard to do, and I'm sure I like this step that they're taking. I like the step for Drew to come back home and to be a part of this, and who knows what this will lead to, guys. But hopefully it's all good things from here on out. But speaking of, UNA's got a new opponent, at least in football. West Florida announced today that they will move to the ASUN in all their sports except for football will move into the UAC. That will start in the fall of 2026. So the Argonauts, who were a very good Division II program in the Gulf South Conference, they've won 11 national championships, 136 conference titles across 15 programs. They do have a recent football national championship. So bringing in, with UNA, with West Georgia, now West Florida, all of these southern, really good Division II programs are now coming up and joining basically the same league.
Yeah, I think this is a super fun conference in football because you have a wide variety of teams. I mean, you can go from Texas to Kentucky to Utah to now Florida. You got a bunch of teams in the Alabama area, some teams in Georgia. I think it's a wide variety and a very, very fun conference on the football side of things because you got some teams like UNA that have shown some promise, some teams like Austin Peay that have had some fun years in years past. So I think it's a great addition to the conference and a good move for West Florida.
They've played UNA before, right, in the same conference before UNA made the step up.
They were both in Gulf.
Right, when they were both in Gulf South. So they've won a national championship 2019. I'm looking at that right now. I didn't know that. They've only had the program for about 10 years. Started in 2016. So, still but a young but respectable program. Yeah. They have much more success than UNA's had, just being honest, in the previous years. So that's a good addition. Raise the competition level, and I think the UAC is happy to accept them.
And the Argonauts, what a mascot!
And I'm sure UNA's happy to have them come in because if you guys know, they were supposed to host Sacramento State. Sacramento State's now going to the MAC.
Yep.
And they're going to lose that game. Now here comes West Florida.
It's great.
You get that game, so that helps them out. But Josh Looney's going for that money though.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Because you broke a contract. You gotta honor that contract. Kind of back to high school sports just quickly. Just bring up something my state just adopted. So, my state of West Virginia just abolished their current high school transfer rule, because our state athletic association, the WVSSAC, that's a lot of words.
Nailed it.
You rattled that one off good.
Yeah. And I used to say it a lot, or we just said the SSAC. So their new transfer rule is you can transfer one time before your junior year. So, and you have to have that done by September 1 of your junior year. So you can play wherever you want, freshman and sophomore. If you want to transfer someone going into your upperclassmen years, your junior and senior year, you have to do it before September 1 of your junior year.
Yeah, I think that's something that a lot of states that have put in a high school transfer rule. I think it's something that all 50 states need to do if they're going to have a transfer. Because you see a lot of people kind of, and not in a bad way, but kind of gang up. It's like, oh, our senior year, let's all go, here. And so I think that kind of away from what college sports is, you're getting some consistency. You're not just having somebody for a year, or now at least you get them for 2 years in each spot if they do elect to transfer.
Yeah, there needs to be structure there. I don't know what the universally agreed rule is going to be, but I agree there needs to be structure similar with the college level. I mean, it's high school athletics. It's crazy that this is coming down to high school athletics, but it's just as dirty of a business in some areas as college is, because you have illegal recruiting going on right here in our backyard, right? Yeah. There's players being poached to go to surrounding schools, right? And transfers happening all the time. So yeah, there needs to be some structure. I'm glad there's being steps. Yeah. There are steps being made to remedy that problem.
And it makes you commit to something for long term.
Yes.
Okay, you can play this one place for 2 years, but you go this next place, you have to be there for 2 years.
And maybe that can start to build a good mindset for them when they make it to the college ranks. It's like, hey, I'm going to stick through this. I'm not just going to pick up and leave because things aren't going well. Because like you mentioned, it's happening at the high school level, and coaches shouldn't have to worry about player retention before their senior year. Yeah. And for them to put that on top of coaching, on top of teaching, it makes that job almost impossible.
Yeah, and here in Tennessee, we're handing out more taxpayer money to people to go to private schools. It's how vote them out of office. Like, if they're that dumb and they're that corrupt, vote them out of office. Like, we know who you are, especially the guy locally who's just trying to get his son into a private school. Yeah, sorry, buddy. Your kid's going to hit reality at some point.
I think it's important that we focus on the lessons that we're teaching our kids. Like, what is the point of sports, right? What's been the point of sports, and the different things that you learn, the character building that happens, and you're eliminating that character building by letting them transfer and letting them make the decisions for themselves. It's defeating 90% of the point of sports, because a lot of these kids aren't going to college, and let alone professional. They're going to have a life outside of the TSSAA, or the NCAA if they make it that far. So it sounds cliche, but it's very true. Like, what are we teaching the kids by allowing them to do whatever they want? So it definitely needs to be structure.
But I like that they keep it where you can transfer, because I think that sometimes in high school sports you see a lot of bullying. And there's a lot of kids that want an opportunity elsewhere. It's like, hey, it's not working out here. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. But again, there are some people that kind of abuse the transfer rules.
You need limitations, just as everything needs to be governed properly.
Yeah, and our current transfer rule was brought up by somebody who wanted to take his son out of county and decided he wanted to go after the TSSAA in the process.
Him and a million others.
Yeah, it is what it is. So coming up next, guys, we're going to talk. We're going to have our Final Four predictions, and also we'll talk some Tennessee baseball and softball when we return here on X Sports Live, brought to you by C&B Linen.
and Brown Barbershop, legacy means a lot. We're trying to fill big shoes left by my 2 uncles and my grandfather, where every haircut came with conversation and every customer left a little taller than when they walked in. The barbershop is about pride. It's about knowing your barber knows your name and your story. Come see us at Fields and Brown Barbershop, where tradition never goes out of style. 3 generations, 1 legacy, your barbershop.
Banking made simple and convenient. At Builtwell Bank, we're here for you. Whether you're making a milestone purchase or saving for retirement, our dedicated financial team will walk with you every step of the way because we care. From personal banking accounts to making sure your business and commercial needs are met, we'll make sure you have a dedicated Builtwell banker that understands your unique needs and goals. Serving Lawrenceburg and Summertown. Come see us today. Member FDIC.
Financial advisor Scott Beasley knows time spent with family is everything. As a founder of Beasley Wealth Management, his mission is to give clients the freedom to enjoy time with family without the burden of financial concerns. A local of Lawrenceburg, Scott deeply values building relationships with clients, ensuring they make informed decisions concerning asset management, tax planning, and retirement planning. Offering a free initial consultation, Beasley Wealth Management helps clients pursue their aspirations with confidence.
Fast, friendly, and reliable service is our promise to you because you're not just a customer, you're family. From multi-use linen to branded floor coverings and a complete range of cleaning supplies.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
Welcome back, everybody, here to see X Sports Live, brought to you by C&B Linen. I was telling these guys about how hard
C&B Linen, brought to you by X Sports Live.
Yeah. How hard it was calling the UNA Bellarmine men's basketball game because all of the guys, either their last name started with a W or had 3 syllables in it, and the way their system works is
they don't dribble.
They don't dribble,
Nope.
and everybody touches the ball at least twice in the possession. So it is like, I told my wife afterwards when I called her on the way back, she's like, "You on your way home?" I'm like, "Yeah," and then she wanted to talk about something. I'm like, "Listen, honey, my cheeks hurt, my jaw hurts, my eyes hurt. I just don't want to say a word for the next hour on the way home."
I would say Bellarmine, I found out about them and their style 3 or 4 years ago, and anytime I see them, I got to turn the game on because it's just, I mean, it's not, it's not the most efficient, I guess you could say, because they're not making the tournament every year and dominant in this, that, and the other. But it's fun to watch when it's working. I mean, the guys moving the ball around like that. I would say I feel bad for the commentators in that sense.
They're the reason why the probationary period ended.
Yes.
In college sports, because they had a team. They won the A-Sun. They won the tournament, and their first year, and they had an amazing team. Like, they came over to Florence and just dominated UNA, and finally everyone was like, okay, this is ridiculous.
Yep.
Like, they should be in the NCAA. They would be a lot of fun, the NCAA tournament. They used to play at the old
what is it called?
Memorial Fieldhouse, Louisville. Oh, what is the name of that place? It's right next to Kentucky.
I would say I can't think of it right now.
The old Louisville Arena.
Yes.
Where they used to play, and now they're back to their old gym, which frankly kind of sucks. They should go back to the other one. It looks way better. But anyways, guys, let's get into some Tennessee baseball. 3 games against LSU this weekend, and they need to bounce back in a big way. They're back at home. LSU's a tough team. We know how good that they are, and this is a big seer. I think I say this every week when it comes.
But as long as they keep going the way last weekend is, each one of these are going to be a big series. And again, Tennessee's made some moves throughout the week. Josh Elander now coaching from the dugout, no longer the third base coach. How much is that going to change? I don't know. They've also switched up the weekend rotation again. Landon Mack moving from the Saturday spot to the Friday spot. Tegan Coons back in the rotation. He'll fill in for Mack on Saturday, and then Evan Blanco still on Sunday. And listen, I think Tennessee showed a lot of good things at Vanderbilt. They kept Vanderbilt to low runs in 2 of those games. And the next one, their offense showed some pop. So I think this is going to be a big weekend. And to have it at home against a team like LSU, you just better pray.
LSU's struggling too.
Yes.
4-5 right now.
Yes, I about to say this is a good opportunity to get a series win over a team that has kind of had your number the past couple of years.
Yeah, it's not impossible. It's just minor mistakes, which gives me hope for Josh Helander. It gives me hope. Like, a lot of people are ready to bury him, and I was listening to some Fox Sports Knoxville podcasts, and some guy got on there and was like, "Hey, the same people who are wanting to bury him already are some of the same people that were saying, Danny, if you don't hire this guy, we're out." Right? Yeah, they were like, "You have to hire him," back in November, December, whenever that hiring process took place, and now they're already out on the guy. Like. Yeah. Man, you got to give him some time. You got to give him some growing pain. He is in the spotlight, under the microscope, right? You took over a crazy, insanely good Tennessee program, and it was just in the spotlight, right? And now he's in the spotlight, and he's having to learn as he goes. So,
listen, you take one at bat away from every single one of those games last weekend. They just got a 3-0 sweep over Vandy in Nashville.
Yeah, so
and none of this is being talked about.
Right. So that's back to my original point. There's signs of hope. Like, not all is lost. It's just minor things that need to be adjusted. Yeah. So, and decisions that need to be made in important times of the game that will get you over the hump. So maybe he's learning. Maybe his staff around him is learning, because remember, Tony took pretty much every critical piece of coaching staff with him to San Francisco. So the coaching staff is also learning around him. It would be great. It would be so sobering to get a win over LSU and just get back on the right track and be like, hey, everybody calm down. Mm-hmm. It's okay.
Yes.
We're going to be fine. Just give it some time. Just let it ride out.
Well, another thing is I feel like people don't think that Tony Vitello ever lost a baseball game in Knoxville. Because they lost. Tennessee lost the last 5 series last year. They lost 5, or I believe 6 of the last 8 series last year in conference play. So trust me, this is a team that's got a lot of turnover, a lot of rebuilding to do. But listen, they're a young team. They're going to be fine. Yeah. You can freak out all you want, but you got to give the dude some time. I mean, he's not going to have everything figured out when your coach left in November.
And I think the biggest thing to point out is, if Tony Vitello is the coach, they probably have the same record.
Maybe one game different,
Yeah, 1 or 2 games, because this is the same team that Tony would have coached. I think you would have gotten the same results.
Yeah, and they're playing a lot of the same way. It's still a team that relies a lot on their offense, and that's kind of what's been the slow part. I think that's what they need to do this weekend against LSU, get the offense going, get it a little more consistent, because you've got the talent there. I think Henry Ford is one of the most talented bats in college baseball. You just got to get the guys around him to produce as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, softball-wise, they got South Carolina today, actually. I know a lot of teams have moved their series up because of Easter. That's happened for a while. So softball's got South Carolina. They're 30-5, 7-5 in the SEC. Kind of hit a halt in their momentum right now. All 5 of their losses are in the SEC, so they got some things that they got to take care of out there.
And I think this is a perfect opportunity to run into a South Carolina team. Nothing against them, but they're not at the upper echelon of the SEC. So this is a good Thursday, Friday, Saturday series where you can just try to get 3 wins, try to get the offense back, try to get the pitching staff back to where it's going to be, because the SEC doesn't have many off weekends like this.
Right. I think similar issues against Ole Miss. The softball team had similar issues against Ole Miss as the baseball team did. They lost 2. They lost 2 out of 3. Both of those losses were 1-2.
Yes.
Like, they only scored 2 runs across 2 games. So it's not like the pitching or the defense isn't there. It's get the bats going again. And hitters go through slumps like that in the season. So they'll be fine. South Carolina will be a good breath of fresh air, I guess.
Back at home where you've played really well, just kind of put some things together, get a good sweep, get some momentum, get the double-digit wins in the conference, and feel good moving out.
I would say they just need to figure the bats out. That's been the thing, the conversation the last 3 or 4 years. It's like, listen, the pitching is going to take them as far as it can. How far are the bats going to come along? And they started the season absolutely scorching hot. Taking a little bit of a cold step as they entered conference play, but I think they'll heat back up before the season ends.
Guys, let's move to the Final Four. Let's get some predictions in. First game, Illinois-UConn, and that will be followed. I like how they scheduled this. The best games at the last one. Nightcap is Michigan-Arizona. Who you guys got?
this first game, it's hard to pick against UConn, just the emotion behind that buzzer beater. But I kind of look at it the other way. I think that may have been too much going on and too much focus, that Illinois has kind of just been sitting there. Brad Underwood just sitting there with all of his Eastern European transfers, and they just build a good game plan. They're the toughest out right now. I think Illinois is right now. Just the way they're built, they're physical, they're big, they're fast, they can run, they can also slow things down and defend. I think that they are top to bottom going to be one of the more difficult teams to put out.
What's the line on that game?
I believe it's Illinois 1.5. Yeah.
That's a tough one. I want to lean towards Illinois as well. I don't think UConn is. I mean, they're a 2 seed, but they've just had ups and downs on the season. There isn't like one particular guy for UConn that does it all for them, and maybe that's a strength for them. But I just want to lean towards Illinois. I think, like you said, they've been sneaky, they've been quiet, they've just handled their business, and I think they can handle UConn pretty easily.
Yeah, I agree. When you look at UConn, Taurus Reed, I think Illinois' got 2 or 3 big men that can handle him. And then the guard play. I think Keaton Wagler is going to be huge in this game. I watched him in the Elite Eight against Iowa go shot for shot with Bennett Sturts. It's not a whole lot of guys that on UConn that I think could go shot to shot with Keaton Wagler, and I think that's going to take the Illinois offense over the top.
At the same time, nobody's going to be surprised if UConn wins this game. No,
they're not winning.
Right?
I would say you could get any collection of these 2 teams in the national championship game, and it wouldn't surprise anybody.
Yeah, UConn is very capable, and coaching definitely matters when he gets to this level. And Dan Hurley, for as crazy and as polarizing as he is, he's a good coach. He can get the best out of his players. So who knows what will happen? I'd probably lean towards Illinois, but who knows?
Yeah. Nightcap guys, that's the big one. Brian picked Michigan to win the national championship. I picked Arizona. So I
picked Arizona. So
I think I know we're all going there.
I'm sticking with it. Michigan Arizona's been really strong, but man, Michigan just dominated all year. Right? They were dominant at the first of the year. Had some slumps when they got into Big Ten play, but Big Ten's turned out to be a good conference, right? Yeah. So I'm sticking with Michigan.
And I'm going to side with Brian on this one for one reason. Michigan and Arizona, I feel, are built very similarly. They got good guard play, but their bigs are really what makes the difference. And you look at Michigan's big. Yaxel Lindeborg, 5th or 6th year in college. You look at Damar, I believe he's a junior. Morez Johnson is a sophomore. They've got experience there, where everyone for Arizona, they're all freshmen. And I have nothing against a team full of freshmen. They've carried it this far. I just feel like the age and the experience for this Michigan team is going to take them over top. But I think Arizona, I think Tommy Lloyd's a better coach than Dusty May this season, but I think that Michigan has just got too much talent.
The battle in the paint is going to be fun.
Yes.
That's the one I'm going to watch. I want to see how their bigs go against each other's bigs, the battle on the boards. It also depends on how this game's officiated. Mm-hmm. Do they let them play? Do they start calling touch fouls early on? Do they let them go down there and kind of be rough? It kind of depends there.
Because you look at the way both of these teams have been able to blow opponents out, they're not shooting the lights out. They're getting to the free throw line 30 and 40 times a game. Mm-hmm. They're not going to be able to do that against each other. Right. You're going to have to find out who the actual better team is.
Yeah.
And we'll just have to wait and see.
Who did you say Arizona? What's Arizona's head coach?
Tommy Lloyd.
Tommy Lloyd, that's right. Man, Dusty May has just been impressive, right? He took FAU, how many years ago was that?
2022, 2023.
Yeah, okay, so 4 years ago, right? Man, that's just incredible what he's done. I just tend to think he'll be able to get over more so than Lloyd, because Lloyd's had good teams in the past. He's just never been able to get them over, so he might hit a brick wall again.
And see, the reason I would pick Arizona is I did hear an interview with Tommy Lloyd the other day, and it's talking about how teams change things up when things don't work. He has been the same guy he has been since he was an assistant with Mark Few at Gonzaga. It's been the exact same, and this year he's just got a group of guys that have bought in.
Awesome. That's great, guys. Women's side, South Carolina, UConn. That's the first game tomorrow at 6, and then followed by Texas and UCLA. All chalk, all 1 seeds. Who's going to be playing in the Natty on Sunday?
It's hard to pick against UConn. I mean, this year they are on a different level. When was the last time we've seen South Carolina 7-point underdogs in a game? I can't think of it
Long time.
Yeah, I cannot think of it. So I'm going with UConn on the first game. In the late game, we'll go Texas. And I would say I talked about liking their head coach Vic Schaefer, and he was talking about after his game that I believe it was yesterday morning he was gonna get up and go turkey hunt, reward himself, and then he was in the office by 9 o'clock. So I'm with Texas and UConn in the national championship.
I can't give any analysis. I haven't watched the first women's basketball game this year. If you ask me who I'm rooting for, it's not Gino.
Oh, no, yeah.
Like, nobody, I'm not rooting for him. I'm not rooting for Don Staley either. Texas and who else?
UCLA.
Let's give it to UCLA.
Right.
Let's just pull for them.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's all chalk. It's
Sure.
all one seed.
Yeah,
So let's go with it from there. Well, guys, another fun show. So we will see you guys next Monday. So for Bryant, Michael, and myself, this is X Sports Live, brought to you by C&B Linen.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.